The teacher who taught with the soul. A pedagogy that still transforms lives. Can a pedagogy born in the 16th century still transform education in the 21st? It sounds impossible, okay? But there is one approach that has never lost its power. Ignatian Pedagogy. Welcome to Un Pedagogo. Today we'll explore one of the most human and profound educational approaches ever conceived. One that was not born in a laboratory or a ministry, but in the silence of Ignatius of Loyola's spiritual exercises. A pedagogy built not to train workers or followers, but to form people capable of transforming the world. And the question guiding this video is simple yet profound. What does it mean to teach from the soul? And why is it more urgent than ever today? Ignatian pedagogy is not a method or a set of steps. As Jesuit scholar Javier Duplat writes, it is a spirit, a way of seeing reality. It arises from a deep understanding of the human being, freedom, purpose, relationships, and responsibility. At its core, Ignatian pedagogy is about accompaniment, not just teaching people what to think, but helping them feel, discern, and act with meaning. Across centuries, this spirit crystallized into what Jesuit educators call the Ignatian Pedagogical Paradigm, built upon 5 key dimensions: context, experience, reflection, action, and evaluation. But these are not rigid steps. They are living processes, a roadmap to form conscious, compassionate, and free individuals. Context. Duplat reminds us that no learning takes place in a vacuum. Every student carries a world within them, their family, their social reality, their dreams, their fears. That is why Ignatian education begins with the context, understanding the learner's whole story. Ignatius called this the Cura Personalis, the care for the whole person. Not groups, not statistics, each individual in their uniqueness. The Ignatian educator is not merely an academic guide. They are someone who listens, who takes part in their students' lives, who helps them find meaning not only in knowledge but in existence itself. This personal attention doesn't just enhance learning, and it humanizes it. Experience. The second dimension is experience. For Ignatius, knowledge begins not with data, but with living encounters. To taste things internally, as he said, was the true beginning of understanding. Learning should engage all dimensions of the person: the body, the mind, the senses, the emotions, and the spirit. Modern neuroscience would agree when we learn with both hemispheres of the brain, both rational and emotional memory. Ignatius intuited this centuries before the term neuroeducation even existed. For Jesuit pedagogy, knowledge becomes transformative when it is felt, not just understood. When a student leaves the classroom more curious, more empathetic, more capable of serving others, that is meaningful learning. Education should not just inform, it should form. Reflection. But experience alone is not enough. We must reflect. Duplat warns that our societies suffer from a crisis of thought. We have access to infinite information, yet little reflection. In Ignatian practice, reflection means turning inward, recognizing what has happened within us, and discerning its meaning. Ignatius taught his followers to examine their prayer. What did I feel? Why didn't it work? What have I learned? That same spirit guides modern metacognition, thinking about how we think. In education, reflection connects knowledge with life. It's not about memorizing, it's about understanding why it matters. Why does this topic affect me? What does it mean for society, for justice, for coexistence? Through reflection, study becomes wisdom. Action. True reflection leads to action, the 4th element of the paradigm. For Ignatius, faith and love were meaningless without deeds, and in education, learning without action becomes sterile. Action expresses who we are and what we believe. The goal of Ignatian education is to form men and women for others, people who use their knowledge and skills to create a more just and compassionate world. Teachers play a key role here, trusting their students, respecting their rhythms, and encouraging their creativity. Each learner's path is unique, and their growth cannot be forced. As Duplat says, every student's process is different. The teacher's attitude must always be one of respect and trust. To act, then, is not only to do, It is to become, to align our knowledge with our humanity. Evaluation. Finally, the fifth element, evaluation. Ignatius never used the word, it didn't exist in his time, but the idea was central to his spiritual exercises. He called it discernment, gathering information, judging its meaning, and making a decision. Modern education often reduces evaluation to grades and numbers. But Ignatian pedagogy sees it as something deeper, a moment of awareness, an opportunity to assess not only what students know, but who they are becoming. That's why self-evaluation plays a crucial role. Students learn to observe their own progress, take responsibility, and make choices for growth. It's not about punishment, but about learning from experience. In this way, evaluation becomes a continuation of the journey, not the end of it. Perhaps the most beautiful truth behind all this is that education is not technique, it is encounter. A true teacher doesn't just form minds, they form consciences. When pedagogy and spirituality meet, teaching becomes an act of love. So the final question is, are we educating for success or for human fulfillment? This video is based on the article at La Pedagogía Ignaciana, una ayuda importante para nuestro tiempo, Ignatian Pedagogy, an important aid for our time, written by F. Javier Dupla, SJ, published in 2000 in Cuadernos Ignacianos by the Universidad Católica Andrés Bello, Caracas, Venezuela. The article examines how the spiritual principles of Ignatius of Loyola's spiritual exercises evolved into the Ignatian Pedagogical Paradigm, emphasizing a holistic education that unites reflection, action, and ethical transformation. If there's a topic you'd like me to research, leave it in the comments. I always read what you write. Many future videos are born from your ideas. On Un Pedagogo, I create videos based on scientific research, using artificial intelligence to explore how knowledge transforms our history. I'm Mau Chiunti and I'm a pedagogue.